Hello, good morning, everyone. Chapa here. I'm helping Professor Fumia organize this conference, Embodied Intelligence Conference 2025. I welcome you all for day 2. I hope you all enjoyed day 1. We had an exciting list of speakers lined up for today as well. And let me start with a bit of recap from what we discussed yesterday. We had exciting keynotes, 3 keynotes from Professor Nicola Clayton, Professor John Hutchinson, Professor Emily Standen. So starting from Professor Nicola's speech, she was talking about how the type of body shapes memory, prediction, and learning. And she further discussed her experiments around animals like pigeons, jays, primates, to understand their use of body, how they use situational memory and experiences through magic tricks. And we further discussed how timescale differences occur in humans and animal cognition and how it shapes their experiences and their abilities and how they work with the environment during interactions and how humans and animals can influence each other in these type of interactions. So some takeaways from this is we learned how magic can help understand animal mind. So it can be a nice tool for us to understand how embodied intelligence work in animal cognition, animal behaviors, and then how to use it for robotics, especially soft robotics. And we also discussed power of limbs in shaping cognition, having hands, not having hands, having bipedalism, and different other capabilities that we possessed over the evolutionary tree. And then moving to John Hutchinson's speech, he explained how he constructs evolutionary biomechanics through simulations and scans, and how he tested locomotor hypotheses for early dinosaurs using his studies. And he was talking about the importance of reverse computational simulations and its importance to understand ancient biomechanics and how to use them for modern applications. So we were looking at the functionality of passive body parts in efficient locomotion and how important these body parts can be. We saw that simulation of key aspects of animal kinematics and how he did this in his research. And moving to Emily Standen's talk, she was showing us how her studies are around amphibians to learn the brain-environment relationship and the importance of local sensory feedback loops in especially locomotion. And she showed us how her experimental approaches could find some reasons behind different locomotor patterns in animals. And some key takeaways from her speech is that there are parallel sensory feedback loops providing redundancy to ensure performance success in animals. And then she was focusing on mechanical coupling and body morphology, which contributes to intelligence in systems. So all these keynotes provided an insight to how biomechanics and animals are shaped to have embodied intelligence over time across the evolutionary process through time. And then we had 2 short talk and panel discussions as well, where we were discussing foundation of embodied intelligence as interconnected dynamical systems, we were talking about the use of living materials as inspiration for robot development and simulations, how we can come up with standardization strategies for soft robotics. And one key element is origami-based structured, origami-inspired designs, and how we can use simple control strategies that are possible to mathematically simulate using the tools we have at the moment. And then we discuss how robots create meaningful connections with the environment through, for example, ghost circuits. And one open challenge we recognized during the discussions is the sensor integration. And interestingly, we spoke about aesthetic advantages of soft robotics, which is new to these discussions that we had at EI conference so far. So I'm excited to listen to these new topics throughout the conference this year. And key takeaways from these discussions is that we paid a lot of attention to actuation strategies this time, and a lot of talks, short talks and keynotes talked about medical applications of soft robotics. One main reason for that is that these applications and inner body environment provide complex dynamic and interconnected interactions and a complex environment for soft robotics. So it acts as a challenging environment that we can answer a lot of fundamental questions using this application. And we spoke about holistic co-design of robots with a priority to safety and regulatory requirements, which is challenging with soft robotics. And one important feature this year is masterclasses, where you get the chance to talk to a master in the field and discuss your research with these masters and come up with new ideas that we will turn into publications at EI proceedings, which comes after the conference. And during these master classes and breakout sessions yesterday, we were talking about soft robotics, control, and inner body applications a lot. And then we discussed problems in our approach for bio-inspirations, what solutions we can come up with as immediate solutions. And during the master classes, we paid attention to evolutionary robotics, how to make it alive again. So we had a very engaging discussion with Professor George Pongard to find strategies to make it alive again, and the problems with the evolutionary robotics where we pay too much attention to stochastic processes and randomness, and how to come up with mathematical models of evolution, how to make use of existing mathematical models of evolution. And we were talking about human-centered designs, new opportunities for young researchers. I think most of you have made use of this opportunity to discuss your possibilities, how to approach the transition from early career research to academia. I hope most of you could get an insight about this transition. And one takeaway, several takeaways from these discussions is that inner body is an interesting, complex, and compliant environment for soft robots. And we can use soft robotics as a tool to answer fundamental questions. So these were two important points we were discussing during the master classes and breakout sessions yesterday. And you can see all the recordings which we had permission to record at embodiedintelligence.org website, and you can listen to these speeches again. And before we start today, a bit of housekeeping. So talks will be recorded just like yesterday. And you can find these talks at the Embodied Intelligence website after the conference. And only speakers will be unmuted during the main program, and during the breakout sessions and master classes, you're free to talk. And you can put your questions in chat, WhatsApp group, and if you have any technical issues, you can put these in the WhatsApp chat, Zoom chat, or you can email us. And EI conference is free, and our proceedings and actions will take place based on voluntary contributions from you. So I encourage you to register yourself at a fee if you can afford that. So please consider voluntary contributions for the conference. And you can find the link here. And there will be conference proceedings. We will call for proceedings soon after the conference. So the deadline is 31st of August 2025. So you have the whole summer to get something out of the conference, grow upon these discussions, and then contribute to EI proceedings by August. And if you would like to continue this discussion further, we have the WhatsApp community, which will be active even after the conference. So if you're joining for the first time today, use this link to join the WhatsApp community. And we have a LinkedIn page for the Embodied Intelligence Conference as well. So I welcome you all to join the LinkedIn community as well. And moving to today's schedule. We have, in the morning sessions, we have Hiroki Ueda as a plenary speaker, where he's talking about his neuroscience research about sleep. And then we have short talks and panel discussions led by Professor Kohei Nakajima. And then we have lunch and breakout sessions during the lunch break. And then the afternoon session, we have 2 keynotes and panel discussions, followed by a masterclass and breakout sessions. In today's session, after the plenary talk, we have short talks and then a masterclass with Professor Kohei Nakajima, where we are discussing about nonlinear dynamics and reservoir computing. That comes to the end of today's session. So I would like to invite our first plenary speaker, Professor Hiroki Ueda. Professor Hiroki Ueda is a professor in neuroscience at the University of Tokyo and the Riken Center for Biosystems and Dynamic Research. He's known for his research in circadian clock. I'm excited to listen to his talk. So over to you, Professor Hiroki.
Thank you, Chapa. So can you hear me?
Yes, perfect.
Okay. Yeah, great.